Hello everyone, this is Jonathan Marsh with William T. Spader Company coming back to you to talk about how to do your setup within Bluebeam to do the exports directly from contract drawings to the Trimble. I decided to make you guys a number of templates. Really there's only 3. This last thing is the tutorial. Tutorial, like I said, is about 6 pages long. Please download it and use it as a guide. I talk fast and I tend to go over things quickly. It will help you with any further detail that you need. So the 3 files that you're downloading that there are the actual templates are field points BTX. A BTX file, if you're unfamiliar with it, when you double click on it, will give you a tool chest. I made you a tool chest full of special tools that you can use to define points within a PDF. Okay, I will teach you in a separate video how to make your own, but for right now, you can use my tools. I think I've given you enough that you'll have a fairly good workflow just using them. All right. The other 2 things I've given you are basically Excel forms. I've given you a point converter. What this is going to do is when you export the points from Bluebeam, you're going to paste it in here, and it's going to do all the conversion you need done. Okay. Now, I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't use VBS script. In fact, I purposely made it simplistic so you can see what I'm doing, because once you understand it, you really don't even need it. I don't use it. I've used this workflow a number of times at this point. I just edit it right in the root file and the raw data and then send it to my machine. This last template is the actual file that you're going to load into the machine, and all it really does is it has a column headers that your machine's looking for to determine what the variables are to define each of your points. Okay, so we're going to do some copy pasting in a further video, and that's when we're going to use these 2, but for right now I just want you to download all 4 of those. Okay, and then we're going to get started. The first thing we're going to do is I'm going to have you make a job folder. In this case, I'm going to just call it job name. And in that, I'm going to copy the point convert Excel form and the point file CSV so that I have those available for when I'm ready to do my exports. I'm also going to put in the PDF that I want to use as my background. Now, this is not just going to be the background that I pick for all of my different point locations. I'm actually going to load this PDF directly into my tablet and use it as a background for when I'm doing the actual layout. It's important to note at this point that the PDFs used have to be vector based. All right, you can use a raster based one. I do have sort of a hack to do that, but it is much more complex. So at the very least, start with this, and you can move on when you're ready. So make a folder, name it whatever your job name is, throw a PDF in there that you're going to use to sort of test this all out, and give it a double click. If you do not have a PDF open, you will not be able to set all the settings that we need to set in Bluebeam, so I need you to open at least something. It doesn't have to be the drawing you really want to use, but it's got to be something, all right? Also, if you use Bluebeam every day, if it's part of your normal workflow, go ahead and save yourself off a new profile, okay? So save a profile before you start changing things. That way you won't get mad at me that I've changed some of your markups lists or anything like that, okay? I'm not going to do that because this is my base profile. Go up to review, and we're going to go to preferences, all right? We're going to go to grid and snap, all right? And what I want you to do is I want you to set it exactly like I have mine set, all right? These snap points are really important when we're setting control. Control needs to have good geometry. If you don't have good geometry, your equipment's going to tell you that you are too far out of tolerance, all right? So we need to be able to snap to each point that we set as a control point. And I'm going to show you how to do that, and I've made these tools over here so that they're useful in a snapping situation. They're a little strange, but I'll show you how to use them. And you can obviously make your own tools at some point. There's even some slick things you can do with find and replace to set up control a little faster, but we'll talk about that in a separate video. For right now, set your grid and snaps to these and hit OK. Alright, the other thing we're going to change is we are going to change your markup list. So I'm just going to pause here for a second. Look at that. I want sequence, I want X, I want Y, I want author. Author we're going to use as our Z value. I needed a reportable field. Author is a reportable field. That's what I'm using. All right, and then we're going to use subject. Subject's cool. I put in my my tool file, some things that are going to read through to subject to help you organize your points and your exports. So I think it's worth doing. All right. So those are the things we're looking for. All right. Now, when you bring them in, they might not come in this order. If they don't, grab them and slide them around. It's just that easy. Okay. And that's going to get ultimately what we want to see is we want to see sequence, X, Y, author, and subject. All right. At that point, if you're open to the PDF that you're going to use, we want to do one more step. This is probably the critical step in terms of if you do not do this, it's not going to work out. All right. The problem is that in CAD and in BIM, 0, 0, or the origin is down here in the lower left-hand corner. All right. And in Bluebeam, because it's made for typing and reading, it's up here in the upper left-hand corner. All right. This is not cool because this means you would have to do a bunch of complex math in order to change all the geometry, or you could hit rotate. So we're going to go with hitting rotate. All of the work that we're going to do is going to be in this rotated view. Yes, there is a way to do it the other way around. No, I don't want to go over it because it's super complex, and this is just way easier. So when you get to this point, when your PDF is rotated clockwise, I want you to stop. The setup is complete at this point.